Before you scroll away, before you decide this is just another story, listen carefully. Because somewhere, right now, there is a quiet person who believes their life will never change. This story is for them. And maybe it is for you. His name was Ethan Miller. Most people never noticed him, not because he was invisible, but because he never asked to be seen. Ethan was born in a forgotten corner of America, in a small industrial town where factories once promised futures and later took them away. The kind of town where mornings smelled of oil and dust and evenings sounded like exhaustion. His father worked long shifts at a shoe manufacturing plant, standing all day, repeating the same motion thousands of times. His mother cleaned offices at night, quietly, invisible to the people who worked there during the day. They were not completely hopeless, but they were always one bill away from trouble. Money was discussed in whispers. Dreams were postponed indefinitely. A childhood of lack. Ethan grew up knowing the weight of scarcity. Not enough food in the fridge, not enough clothes for winter, not enough books for school. He learned early how to pretend he wasn't hungry. At school, Ethan was the quiet one. He wore the same shoes for years, the same jacket through changing seasons. When classmates talked about vacations, new gadgets, college plans, Ethan stayed silent. Not because he didn't care, but because he didn't belong in those conversations. He was shy, soft-spoken, often overlooked. Teachers described him as average. No one saw potential. No one made predictions. And Ethan accepted that. The place he escaped into. Books became his refuge, but even books were hard to find. The school library was small, outdated, quiet. Ethan stayed after class, sitting alone between shelves, reading slowly, carefully. He didn't rush. He believed knowledge was something you held on to tightly because you might not get it again. While others laughed in hallways, Ethan learned patience. He learned how to listen, how to observe, how to wait. When life forced him to grow up. In his final year of high school, everything changed. His father injured his back at the factory. No warning, no safety net. The income stopped overnight. Fear entered the house quietly and never left. Ethan took a job after school, then another on weekends, stocking shelves, cleaning floors, delivering packages. He studied at night when his eyes could barely stay open. College felt impossible, but quitting felt worse.
The long way into education. Ethan didn't go straight to a top university. He couldn't afford it. Instead, he worked full-time and attended community college part-time. Morning shifts, evening classes, nights spent studying. He failed exams, retook courses, doubted himself constantly. But he never stopped. Years later, he transferred into a major university, not because he was brilliant, but because he was persistent. He studied industrial management and systems engineering. Not glamorous, not impressive, but practical. The bottom of the ladder. After graduation, Ethan didn't get a corner office. He got steel-toe boots. He joined a large shoe manufacturing company, the same industry his father had worked in, as a factory floor worker. Long hours, repetitive labor, physical pain. But Ethan paid attention. He watched how machines failed, how time was wasted, how small inefficiencies cost millions. Others complained. Ethan took notes. Slow, invisible progress. He made suggestions. At first, no one listened. Then one supervisor tried his idea. Production improved slightly. Then another improvement. Then another. Ethan wasn't loud. He wasn't confident, but he was right. Years passed. He became a team leader, then a supervisor, then operations manager. Each promotion came slowly, earned quietly. The heaviest years. Pressure increased, deadlines, responsibility, people depending on his decisions. Ethan doubted himself constantly. He worked longer hours, missed family moments, sacrificed personal comfort. There were nights he sat alone in his car, wondering if it was worth it. But he remembered something. He knew what it felt like to have nothing, and he refused to go back. The turning point. When the company faced a major crisis, rising costs, falling quality, threats of closure, Ethan stepped forward. Not dramatically, not heroically, prepared. He redesigned systems, optimized production, protected workers. The company survived, then grew. The unexpected leader. Years later, the board made a decision. Ethan Miller became CEO. The quiet boy, the factory worker, the overlooked student, now leading a major manufacturing company.
The man he became. Ethan became wealthy, but he never forgot scarcity. He raised wages, improved conditions, invested in education programs. He spoke softly, listened carefully. He knew success wasn't about speed, it was about endurance. Final thought. This story is not about luck. It is about staying when quitting feels logical. It is about moving forward when no one is watching. And if you feel invisible right now, remember this. Some of the strongest paths are walked quietly. Welcome to Life Paths.